There you go, Captain JGB84. Alright, I am extremely tired. If you saw my last video, you know how tired I am. I was up to I slept, got up, watched the thing for an hour, did the video, then couldn't get back to sleep till about 2, then had to get up at 5 to go swimming, which I already have, if you couldn't tell. Anyways, this is part 2, a follow-up on my, just episodes 13 and 14 of Korra. These were just, I just watched them like about half hour ago. They are just absolutely fantastic episodes, and it's a very like bittersweet wow ending. Um, I'll just go over the ending really quickly. Korra, she gets rid of Vatu and Unalaq. She kills him basically. Unalaq is gone. Vatu is gone forever, and every single past avatar is gone. Like Unalaq and Vatu destroyed them. And really, it's weird when I think about that. It's great how they show that. That Unalaq literally rips Vatu right out of Korra's mouth, and then just starts hammering it. Every time Rava gets hammered, you see like another avatar disappear. It's like, oh, Aang's gone, Roku, Jennifer Hale, Kyoshi, the water guy, Korok, I think, and then Juan. And it's intense stuff, really. And then you get Korra's and Mako's relationship, which they realize they're not getting back together. They don't want to hurt each other anymore, and I don't know. I think Mako realizes he belongs with Asami, which is a shame because I support this pairing. But who knows? But they leave off on good terms, saying they'll always love one another. As a friend, as friends. But it's good to see that. Korra decides to leave the spirit portal open, which honestly raises one question I have about this season. Not that about that decision. I think that decision's good, in a sense, but in the sense that where did these spirits come from to begin with? Okay, I think, Unalaq might have created them, but how did he create them? And, well, it's kind of explained why he created them. Or, I guess kind of how he created them in a sense, but I don't know. Yeah, that's why I wonder, because, the portal was never opened. The portal in the south was never open until he's like, oh, open the portal. And then that happened. So there's that question that sort of sits in my mind. But yeah, her decision to leave the portal open, I think that's a good thing to do. I don't see much wrong with it. Apart from well, let's hope no bad spirits come out. Jinora gets restored. I think what it was, part of Rava was in Jinora to some extent because that's how she was able to restore the spirit to Korra. And okay, I'll talk about the fight. With the fight between Vatu, Unalaq, and Korra and Rava. That's okay, they were friggin' Jaegers going at it. Okay, the Pacific Rim references. I know they're getting stupid and boring and old, but that's all I can compare this to. These spirits are kaijus, and you see more of them. Kaijus attack everywhere. But yeah, is it wrong that I want to watch season 3 now? Oh, man, this is I was like, oh. The bit that really got to me is when they're like, I'm sorry, it's over, just entirely, I'm sorry, between Mako and Korra. And they kiss one last time, to please the fans, I assume. But, oh man, hero of the day, Bolin. That guy's a hero, just flat down. Oh, Varric has some great bits. He escaped prison. That's funny. Lin Beifong's in it. I like the bit, though, in episode 13, when Tenzin, Bumi, and Kai are in the spirit world, and they come across that fog, and, okay, great cameo, Admiral Zhao. Now, this is neat because, well, I guess he was taken by a spirit, so he'd be left in the spirit world. And he he thinks Tenzin is the Avatar. It's like, I will find you and make you a prisoner. He's even voiced by the same actor. Well, he might be. So that's awesome. Iroh appears again. Awesome. Double awesome. Double awesome! What else? Yeah, you get to see sort of each one's individual fears. And that's what, like, that's one of the biggest highlights of this season. Is seeing those three work together and just seeing how the characters sort of play out. Like with Kaya, sort of each one's sort of fears come to life in this fog. It makes you go mad. Boomy, he's afraid of defeat. He's afraid cannibals coming after him, but I think he's afraid of defeat really. With Kaya, it's more of like this abandonment really. She doesn't recognize her brothers because no one. That's the thing. I kind of want to know a little more about Kaya. Is that well, Tenzin explained that she went around most of her life not knowing what to do, and then when Dad died, when Aang died, she moved back with Katara to be with her, and she probably had this sort of like no one really probably respected her for that. No one respected her because she was going around her life not knowing what she wanted to do in life or what her purpose was. It's neat to say that she doesn't recognize them and she's like going crazy. But I think the best one is Tenzin. Just let's face it. Let's face it. Tenzin's like biggest fear is that like he just can't continue his father's legacy. He can't continue Aang's legacy of being, because at one point Tenzin was the last airbender before his kids were born and after Aang died. He was the last airbender at one point. And, he has to balance that entire, that's pretty big deal. Like, your entire culture, your entire, way of life, the one bending form that no one has really seen for, 100 years, or 50 years or so, that no one has really seen much of. And there's, 5 of you, maybe, that can do it? 4 of you that can do it, plus the Avatar? That's 5. Okay. So yeah, you see that, but then he sort of comes to realize that he is not Aang, he is Tenzin. That's who he is. He's not going to be Aang, he just has to be his own self. You get another great Aang cameo. That's also great. But yeah, that was neat, seeing the pinnacle of their development, and he saves them, and he saves Jinora. Yeah, and Unalaq becoming a giant thing was awesome. It looked like the merger. I was reading this, and Del Toro was teasing ideas about Guillermo del Toro was teasing ideas about Pacific Rim 2. This idea of I think he called it Gypsy Danger 2.0, merger of Jaeger and Kaiju. Jaeger and Kaiju. That'd be pretty cool. That's what he looked like. He was he was humanoid, but he had these tentacle things, that would cause hurt people, and a giant Korra battling. That's pretty cool. But let's talk about the ending, in that Korra decides to leave the spirit portal open, realizing that, Wan found a way for, well, no, not really. She sort of realizes that Wan might have been wrong, and that spirits and humans could live together in harmony if done right. Something, she realized, maybe Unalaq was right. Ooh, this is planting some neat seeds for season 3, probably. Really, I don't know where this season's going to go. I heard that season 3 is going to be heavily focused on Lin Beifong, but there's so much that you could take from just this finale alone, just this season alone, that not necessarily was left unanswered, but just other things. There's a great bit with Bolin and Eska. I'm not spoiling it, but it is his best performance of all time. And Eska and Desna join the fight. Oh, that's cool. There's also an absolutely fantastic bit with it's just a little letter opener if you're curious. Fantastic bit with Tenzin and Korra, where Korra basically thinks she's like, okay, I can't do this. I've lost everything. All the former avatars are all gone. Ratha's gone forever. I can't do this. That's what she's like, and it's just great seeing that. And Tenzin gives her one final piece of training. The thing that oh god, I forgot his name already. The Dark Spirit. What's his name again? Vatu. The thing that Vatu in was the tree. It's called the Tree of Time. Basically, Korra went in it, and you get to see, and she sees all her memories. And I assume anyone can do that. So she actually meditates there, and that's how she becomes a giant. She goes into the Avatar state, and that was cool. She's like on this path. Looks like it's at like the atmosphere, and sort of reminiscent how Aang, whenever he went to the Avatar state, you saw a giant like celestial Aang with like the big orb coming down to him like that. That was exactly it, kind of like that, just a giant celestial purple. Korra with the orb like that, she runs into it and goes into the Mega Avatar state, the Ultra Avatar state, I suppose. That's awesome. It was a like, man, if this were to come out next week, like, I'm glad it came out. I'm glad it came out, this week because, well, not that I wanted the series to be over so far, but it's just I don't know. But still, it was nice that that it's because of the fans I was able to enjoy this finale. I don't actually have Tumblr or anything like that, so I wasn't able to reblog that post, but apparently it was reblogged 18,000 times according to IGN or something like that, over 18,000 times. So there's that. Everyone does a great job. The bits with Tenzin and Korra, like what he's trying to teach her. Oh yeah, that's what Tenzin was trying to teach her, saying that, look, you're not the Avatar because of everything that has happened in the past and what's inside you. You're the Avatar because of what you are, what you can do. It's sort of this notion of being true to yourself, something like that. And it's done well. Done very good. Gripes? Not really. The scale is huge. Like Korra and Unalaq are battling in like the giant forms. They're battling in Republic City at the bay. Oh, Unalaq throws Avatar Aang's statue into the water. I'm like, no! Oh, that's evil. Like, Unalaq is like, this guy's a dick. He's almost like Fire Lord Ozai in a sense. He wants to create New World Order. And can't give him wrong for that. It's pretty cool. Yeah, but I do question though, how long does the harmonic convergence last anyway? In the sense that everything is aligned up just perfectly. I'll say this with the sun. I'll say my face is awfully sunny. Everything lined up perfectly for how long? I would assume it'd be for a few hours, maybe. I mean, like, or maybe a few minutes. I don't know. But yeah. And then Rava's restored and put back into Korra. But it's still a bittersweet ending in that all the previous avatars are gone. She can't look to their guidance. Korra is literally on her own. In a literal sense, too. Like, Mako's no longer going to be with her anymore. They'll still be friends, I'm sure. They go off on good terms. But, it still brought a tear to my eye. A few tears. But that's all I have to say. These episodes are just fantastic. I think it started drooping down towards the middle of the season, but then just skyrocketed into amazement. Really, just Katara's in this. Wish they did a little more with Asami, but that's just me. I mean, they did more. They did stuff with her. Because of her, they were able to. She was in the plane, hammering down the defenses and stuff. So there's that. But that's all I have to say. These are fantastic episodes. I'm waiting for season 3. It really stepped up the game, and I don't know, what are they going to do next time? They've had some big villains already. They had a guy who could take away bending, and now a guy was declaring New World Order, and he became the Dark Avatar. Oh, that's a cool name. The Dark Avatar. The Dark Guitar, something like that. Dark Guitar. I don't know. Guitar's in this. That's pretty cool. But still, I think. Oh yeah, the South is now its own separate state. So, South Pole. Really, nothing much else to say. I'm gonna watch this about another 500 times maybe and just enjoy the shit out of it. But yeah, Legend of Korra Season 2, it was off to a bit of a rough start, but we did it. But they did it. So, that's all I have to say, so until then, see you later.